Hey, what's going on, everybody? Indie Pride here with Milk and Cookies Total War.
What's up, guys? This is Blademaster from the Wolf of Remus Total War channel.
And we are going to be doing a dual cast today. We've actually played a decent amount of battles recently, and today is kind of the purge day. It's maybe 8 or so hours before the Creative Assembly patch 17 drops and corrupts all replays. So we had actually played a bunch of games recently, and a lot of them were pretty decent, and this one was actually amazing. So I definitely think you guys should stick through to the end. It's only a 10-minute replay, but it was Ardiaei versus Arevaci. And do you want to talk about that matchup a little bit? What you think is the stronger faction, and just go over your build before we get into it?
Yeah, for sure. In terms of like a stronger faction, I think Ardiaei would probably be a better faction, but depending on the build, like maybe Arevaci, if they brought like more noble infantry, they could match up like really well against Illyrian hoplites. But I just think like hoplites are super strong, and Ardiaei hoplites are incredibly strong. So I think Ardiaei would probably have like the upper edge in this battle.
Yeah, I definitely think that's probably true. These spear spams are kind of ridiculous, and Ardiaei isn't really a tournament viable pick. I don't think I've ever seen them played in a tournament ever. But I do think that the spear spams are actually quite strong, and you guys have seen it before, and I have talked about it before. The idea behind this build is basically you get a bunch of the really tanky 95 or 115 armor hoplites in the front line there, and then some Illyrian Thoreo spears or marines in the back, and you basically just throw their peltas. They have the 80 range of the normal javelins. I believe it's 80, right?
Yep.
Is that what it is? Yeah, they have the 80 range, and so you can just kind of pick your opponent apart with the javelins, flank some spears around, and start throwing in the rear. That's what I'll be trying to do this battle. But let's get into it now. We can go 3, 2, 1, press play, and get into the replay. So first thing I do, obviously I have to rush this hill, get my hoplite line set up, and there's actually going to be quite a little nasty surprise waiting on my right flank.
Yep.
You want to talk about that in a second?
Yeah, I've got the guerrilla warriors that's just like coming up this hill. They are quite expensive, so it's going to be like a huge risk. If they actually do work, it'll be pretty cool, but if they don't, then I've just lost like 1,300 talents on nothing.
Yeah, so we haven't actually seen it yet on my screen because this map was... I actually like this map a lot, but the terrain was a little weird. I had to run up a hill right at the beginning, and it looks like... I believe they're going to come... It's been a while since the replay came, but or since we played this game, but I believe they're going to come up here right on my right flank, and it was really scary for me because the sword rush is something that you have to make sure your hoplites are facing, get them into shield wall, get them braced for the eventual charge, and then all of a sudden here they go. The ambush is going to be sprung. I don't think guerrilla warriors or ambushers in this game in general are very good because they're generally characterized by very low armor, and these guys only have 15, which means they're going to get shredded by javelins and kind of get beat up by hoplites in general. But I saw it and was like freaking out because it kind of made me retreat a little bit, and that might give you a chance to get a couple downhill charges.
That's true. I mean, if anything, it kind of disrupted your line, so it gave me more of an opportunity to like advance with my main line. But as for the actual charge, it doesn't look like they've really done too much. One of them
no, and they ran right into Illyrian hoplites. Yeah. And this one's going to try to get around the flank and get charged by an axe warrior and then get hit in the rear by a noble hoplite. So, it was a really good idea, and it's actually definitely disorganized my right flank somewhat. But, I mean, at the end of the day, there's 650 talents, I believe, only 15 armor. They're more like a for-fun unit than like a, I really want to win this game, and guerrilla warriors are going to be the unit that does it for me kind of unit. So they're gonna get shredded by javelins, of course. Super low armor, get beat up by axe warriors and the Illyrian noble hoplites in melee combat, and kind of isolate a little bit here, and they're gonna die. But main line has clashed.
Yep.
And a lot of your guys are gonna hit the front line now. You wanna?
Yeah, it's like Scutari and a mixture of like noble and actually I've only brought like one noble fighter and mainly Scutari, so I think you got the edge in terms of the mainline engagement just because Illyrian noble hoplites are so good. But I've got a couple of Iberian skirmishers behind one of my Iberian spearmen, so they're just going to be like showering javelins on your noble hoplites general. Although that 115 armor means that they're just going to be super tanks in that regard. Your Illyrian hoplites are losing though. One of them is like wavering, even though they're in flanks. For some reason, they've got the attacked in the rear penalty, which is kind of weird. Not really sure how. The one
because they don't look like they're attacked in the rear at all.
And,
but over on the right flank, I actually have a bunch of Thoreo spears that got around the flank of one of your painted warriors, and again, they're another low armor unit, and they are destroying them with javelin throws. Like, they got completely decimated right there. And it's going to give me my Axe Warriors time to get in there as well. And the one thing that I love about this build is you really don't have to worry too much about cavalry, at least not until late game. And so I kind of just plop all my guys, all my spears on the flanks, and start throwing javelins. And I don't really have to worry too much about cav yet. But that's actually kind of going to be a mistake, because your noble cavalry is scary and they're hard to kill even for hoplites. So you have the one in a very threatening position right now, actually, in my flank and my rear.
And my noble cav general is like right behind your main line, and these are like some really good cavalry. Probably like the best. I would say probably second best barbarian cavalry in the game. I'd probably put like Thracian Royal Cavalry above them, but they are just really strong units, because that charge bonus is just deadly. Like 49 charge bonus is brilliant. And on top of that, I mean, they've got like excellent melee attack and stuff. So it's kind of like they've got like almost a shock cav's charge bonus, but they've got like a melee cav's deadly like melee stats too.
Yeah, the thing about it though, you're going to utilize them very effectively this battle. In general, at least for tournament builds, I don't think that the elite barbarian melee cav, or really any melee cav in general right now, that's elite tier, is very cost effective.
Yeah.
And like, the reason for that is they're super expensive, and they very often get tied down by like a Levy Freeman unit and kind of just shredded by like random assorted melee units. And melee cavalry in general in this patch is just simply not as good as it was before. There have been times that Aspis Companion Cav and Azat Knights were horrifying to face on the battlefield, but that's certainly not the case on this patch. Hopefully that changes a little bit in the next one. But so like, you're going to utilize them very effectively this battle and get really good hammer and anvils out, but for the most part, spending 12, what do they cost, like 1,300 talents?
Yeah,
something
like
like that?
1280, 1300, something like that.
Yeah, like normally you're not going to get your money's worth out of 2 of those units. I think this is one of those exceptions, and I think it was just really good micro from you from that perspective. But
thank you.
At the moment, it looks like the battle is very even. You've kind of broken through the main line, Noble Cavalry in the back, already up to 69 kills, and only lost 1 man, and Scutari as well. And I've lost a lot of my Noble Hoplites in the center, but I kind of won on the flanks. And the reason I won on the flanks was because I got the Thoreo Spears around the side and just threw my javelins in and got some good flanking charges as well. So you kind of broke through the center there, which was a little surprising because that's where my best troops were, but I still do have some Illyrian Noble Hoplites alive and a bunch of Thoreo Spears and some Mercenary Axe Warriors as well.
Yeah, I was really expecting these Noble Fighters to do a lot better. They've only got like 115 kills on Spearmen, and that too on like Illyrian Hoplites. It's not even like they're like the Noble Hoplites, so I don't know, kind of underwhelming.
Just very high armor.
Yeah, it's true. They're just super tanky.
Yeah. I managed to get an Illyrian Marine around the flank here and running after the skirmishers. I think at this point you'd actually run out of ammo, at least on one of your skirmishers. So this was, honestly, I don't know if you meant to do this or not, but this was very good from you running them away, because it made me think that they had ammo even though they didn't. And so I wasted a lot of time with this one unit that I probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, I was just hoping that they wouldn't catch them, and then that morale penalty would just like lead to a huge mass rout. So I was just trying to keep them away from your Illyrian Marines for as long as possible. And actually, they get a pretty nice, rear charge on this Thoreo Spear. So that morale penalty is going to be pretty devastating, I think.
Yeah, and I'm kind of scared at this moment because a lot of these guys right here seem to be wavering, and I'm kind of worried about a mass rout. I don't remember how my general was. I'm trying to find my general unit. The camera work is kind of hard in this battle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he alive? Can you tell?
Yeah, I'm sure he's like alive. He was alive throughout the game, I think.
But yeah, the camera work's been a little bit hard because of all of these trees, and I'm on debug cam. But yeah, so my general, I guess, is still alive. Balance bar has shifted a lot this game. Like it was very much in your favor at one point, very much in my favor at one point. It started to shift back towards me as well. But because you don't have very many units left. I have more men left on the field for sure. But the problem is you have the two cav units. You have 42 men left in one noble cav, and 49 left in the other. And some decisive hammer and anvils are going to be the only way you can bring this battle back.
Yeah, these
and,
noble
we'll
fighters
need
to like do their job too. Like one of them has got like 82 men left, and they're like killing Thoreo Spear, so they should probably be able to rout at least a couple of units. They're next to some really cheap units too, like a lot of Marines and Thoreo Spear, so maybe they can get like a chain rout going. If they can do that, then that would be really good. But in general, it definitely looks like it's going in your favor.
Well, I remember this unit being an absolute nightmare to kill, and where they were standing, I remember watching it during the battle because it was a pretty laggy battle, There just were bodies and bodies just piled up at their feet. And I think they're going to be even more because I'm going to commit Illyrian Noble Hoplites and some Threa Spears in square formation, which really don't have a lot of killing power there. And really the only killing power I have on the field left are the Noble Hoplites, and they're down to 34 men. So it looks like your Noble Fighters are just going to tank that engagement for a really long time. And you're down to the 2 Noble Horse and then 1 Iberian Skirmisher, and then this 1 Noble Fighter in the center here. And I'm going to try to completely surround it, and this is where your Hammer and Anvils are going to start. I try to face my Spears to kind of take the charge, but they don't actually brace in time. And like at this point, I was like, oh, this battle is over. Like I have your 1 sword completely surrounded. No way they're going to survive. They're in red morale. Like, how is this battle not over yet? And then things are going to just out of nowhere start changing.
Yeah, it's just those. It's that charge bonus, man. That shock cav charge bonus that these noble cav have. It's really going to like, cause if you like put them in extended melee against Ardiaei spears, they're just going to get slaughtered. But by doing some cycle charges, they're actually doing pretty well, like surprisingly well.
Yeah, and it was weird because I was bracing my spears pretty well. Illyrian Marines braced here for the Noble Cavalry, but they're not high tier spears. But some of my hoplites, the high armor ones, are braced, and like you just keep charging in, and it's really not. It doesn't seem to be an issue for them. Like you keep charging them, I keep getting lower and lower morale. And I remember these Noble Fighters, they were literally at 36 men and wavering, completely surrounded, and they haven't lost a man in like a minute. And I don't know why this happened, but just out of nowhere, I just couldn't kill them anymore. And it might have been Headhunt and Battle. Yeah, you put Battle. Yeah, you put Battle Rhythm and Headhunt on at the same time, and that's when they start getting ridiculous stats. And like I still have them surrounded. You're still charging here, and like I started really wondering who was gonna win this battle because I have 2 units wavering here, and my general my general's dead at this point. But as soon as the headhunt wears off, I was like, okay, well now it's gonna die, and then all of a sudden you DC'd, and so it was so frustrating because it was such a good battle, and it was really gonna go down to the wire there because you still had the cavalry, you still had the hammer and anvils. I want to know what your actual true opinion. Of course, you're going to be like, or I would expect you to be like, oh, I'm definitely going to win that battle. But who do you really think was going to win that?
Dude, it was so close though. I think the only way like I would have won is if I could gen snipe. So I'm not sure if your general died, but if he did, then I think
my gen was dead at that point.
He was dead. I don't know, man, because like you still had some Illyrian Noble Hoplites. I'd probably say, I mean, just looking at the units left for you, you have 1 Illyrian Hoplites that's got like around 60 whatever men, like 60% of their men left. 1 Illyrian Marine that's got like 60%, and I've got 2 Noble Cav that are at like 60 and 70%. So I'd probably say I might have won. I mean, it's going to be biased, but I think I had a decent chance at winning.
Yeah, no, well, and I think you might be right, and I want to know what everyone who watched this battle thinks, because like if we look at what was left on the field there at the end, I think it definitely could have gone either way. And the thing with the high HP cavalry is they're kind of like elephants in that they'll charge and charge and charge, and they might not lose a lot of guys.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden one charge, and you'll just see them all drop.
Right.
And so like if that happens there, and especially if your gen happens to drop there, then I think I definitely win that battle. If it doesn't happen and you keep charging and you keep not losing guys, then yeah, you're probably going to win. The other thing that I want to talk about is that the battle rhythm and the headhunt wore off, so they're going to be exhausted. The swordsmen are going to stop killing things, and they were definitely about to rout because the unbreakable morale was about to go away, was about to disappear, and in general, the exhaustion and everything was going to start kicking in. Yeah. So, and then once that happens, I think I can maybe box up and square up, and I no longer have to worry about rear charges because there's nothing for me to worry about in melee combat. But I think that could have gone either way. I don't think we are ever going to know. But I definitely want to know what you guys think, who would have won that battle, because it was really close, and I think pretty interesting battle in general, because you don't see Ardiaei too often, and both builds aren't really factions you see played very often or compositions you see very much. But it was a really good battle, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And do you have anything else you want to say?
Not much, man. It was a really good game. GG.
I'm going to be leaving his YouTube channel in the description below, and we'll probably do a couple more casts together. But thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate it,
Oh, thank you.
and I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys later.
See you.